What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we've got a pep tactic sort of inspired from pre-season. Now I can describe it as a 4-1-4-1 slash a bit of a 3-1-6. It's a very interesting system that I watched a lot of analysis on, and got linked a lot from you guys about trying to replicate it in Football Manager. So I've done my best, and it looks really good, I'm going to be honest. So whether he uses it in the Premier League, we're going to have to see, but it done pretty well. So be sure to leave a like and subscribe, but as always, leave a comment below on what you want to see next. Let's get into the testing. We are going to test with Man City today because it is going to be the whole purpose of this entire video. Pep Guardiola manages Manchester City, and this tactic definitely is designed for a top team, hence why Pep Guardiola is using it. Now, it's very attacking, I will be honest with you, especially when it actually gets moving inside of the game. Now, for us, we had a great time. I mean, Carabao Cup winners, 3-0 over United, which is remarkable. Haaland, of course, going to be in the goal scoring ranks there. He always is, isn't he? The FA Cup, we are also going to win 3-0 over Chelsea. Erling Haaland, again, going to be in there. Jack Grealish also performing really well in this system. Whether he stays at Man City, I think, is up for debate, to be honest with you. We are going to watch a few highlights during these sort of breakdowns today, because there is genuinely a lot of good games that I want to show you. Now, the Champions League is going to be one of them, so we're going to watch that final, and then we will break down how the Champions League actually went. But the main topic is getting back on top in the Premier League, and we've done it very well. Erling Haaland, you know, he is a very good striker. 59 goals going in for him, which is incredible. Bernardo Silva, Grealish, Doku and Foden. And what I really like about this tactic is how you can get all of them involved. You can get every single player involved that they've got at their disposal. And we didn't lock in any of their new signings like Reinders or Serki, but those are additions in real life that are really good. So this might even suit that system, which is really worrying to see, because City might be on a little bit of a comeback. Now, in terms of the stats, 137 goals being scored, over 800 shots, the fewest shots against. Possession, very good. And I was surprised because this tactic changes so much in possession. The fewest conceded and the most clean sheets also are going to be stat lines that we personally take home. Now, as for the data hub, it looks like this. 3.61, 0.61 conceded per game. So that is exactly literally 3-goal advantage every single game. A good amount of shots and a good pass completion. Now, this tactic on paper is going to look very normal. It's a 4-1-4-1. But if you actually take your time to look at the highlights, go into the lot of games that you play, you can see it almost form into this very interesting 3-back system, which suits Man City really well. So we're going to go and watch some highlights now, mainly of that Champions League final. And it's actually quite interesting because we didn't rely on possession in this Champions League final. Which, to be fair, City haven't done of recent time all the time. Obviously, it's a great goal there from Haaland. They went for a stage of going, not direct by any means, but definitely more risk-taken than the usual. And we do wrap it up 2-0, so it's a very comfortable final. Of course, I've got my set pieces applied as well. I always do. But as you can see from the actual stats, they did miss a penalty, to be fair, where credit is due. But it's a very strong team that we play, and we come out on top. But possession, we didn't. And it's a very interesting way of looking at things. I want to show you this sort of, you know, tactic map almost, so you can see. And yeah, it's a very comfortable Champions League final, so let's see how we actually got there. Now, the Champions League obviously is very difficult, the Premier League's difficult, but to get to this final, we actually got past teams like Real Madrid, which is why I'm showing you, to showcase what this done more than just in one game. A 4-0 win over Real Madrid. Bayern, 5-4, a lot closer, a blockbuster game. I actually ended up using a lot of the variants to actually get past them because they were an absolute nightmare. The round of 16, Monaco 11-2, a bit of an easier game, but still you can only play who's in front of you. And when it comes to the actual, well, we're actually in the group stage, aren't we? So if we go to the all group selection, we can see us down here go invincible. Our group's not the toughest. I'm going to be honest, you know, Atalanta, Salzburg, Slovan Bratislava, I mean, they're pretty, 10-0 there against one of them. It was an absolute bloodbath, hence why Haaland and Grealish got to stat pad a little bit, but it doesn't take anything away from us. It's still a quadruple winning season, which we done really well in. Of course, we did win the FA Cup final as well against Chelsea, so a bit of an easier final than PSG. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's one of those teams who still can turn up in a cup final. And Grealish, again, just showing what he can actually do. And it's always a little bit sad with Grealish because he was so good at Aston Villa, and Man City they definitely didn't ruin him, but it's not been looking too good for him as of late. Let's just say that. But Haaland goes through there, grabs a second goal, and we are just absolutely cooking. absolutely cooking, goal after goal, and still time for one more here. So calm on the ball in the build-up. Bernardo Silva, a mistake from Felix, and I mean, yeah, it's not pretty for them. Of course, now is your favourite part of the video. That is going to be the tactic breakdown. If you are enjoying, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you do enjoy rebuilds, make sure you come on over to Daily Josh, my rebuild channel. There's a video once every other day. So if you're subscribed to both channels, it's a video every day. Tactic rebuild. And there are some tactics on the second channel that get made through a rebuild that don't go on this channel. So if you like the tactics, don't miss out. Make sure you go on over. Now, to make this tactic, all you want to do is simply create your own style, and let's load in a 4-2-2 and we'll build it up together today because it is quite a unique shape. Now, to the bottom left, right off the bat, you want to go on to positive because we are playing quite an attacking way of football. And let's just go and craft the initial shape of this tactic, which is one striker up front, if I can actually put him there. And then we are going to have sort of this, obviously, front four situation. And it is going to shape up as a 4-1-4-1 is what I'm going to call it. Now, on paper, that's what it is. In game, it's actually very, very different. And you can see that by actually watching a whole game. Probably the best thing to do is download this tactic and then actually watch an entire game if you've got the time, or at least the key highlights, so you can see the build-up, because it does form into a 3-1-6. It is so unique the way that it plays. Now, the goalkeeper is going to be a sweeper keeper on support, and he is simply going to be told to tackle harder. You are going to notice in this video, there's not exactly an abundance of instructions, because it can overcomplicate things and you take away from actually recreating that sort of pattern that I'm trying to play. And a lot of the roles that we do use have instructions anyway. So just to make that very, very clear and explain why there might not be loads. A good example is the inverted wingback on the right-hand side, who is going to be on support, who naturally has 4 instructions. The only other instructions I have is tackle harder and also take more passing risks. So that is going to be a total of 6 instructions, but of course we only put 2 of them on ourselves. So that's a really good example of what I mean by when I say there might not be loads and loads. When it comes to the right centre-back, we are going to use a ball-playing defender, who is going to come in, obviously just as the default, but he is going to have a few instructions consisting of dribble less, stay wider, and also mark tighter. So again, a bit more of a risk-free centre-back, because the man next to him is also going to be a ball-playing defender, but he is not going to be told to dribble less. This man can get forward, he can get involved, but he is also going to be told to stay wider and also mark tighter. So being very sensible at how we play things. Of course, both of these ball players are going to be told to stay wider, because at any point one of these sort of inverted options can push up, and therefore we need the cover up there to form that back three. So if you imagine this guy's up here, you can just imagine that, then this ball player would sort of step into here, this central defender would step into here, and then this player would naturally sort of fill in the gap. So that's where your back three comes from. So when it comes to the left back, we are going to use an inverted wing back who is going to come in on support, and he is going to be told to do 2 things, not 3 things. That is going to be with the addition of not tackle harder, so take risks and also mark tighter. So the right back, take more risks and tackle harder. The left back, take more risks and mark tighter. The ball players on the left, stay wider, tackle harder. On the right, stay wider, mark tighter, and also dribble less. In the midfield, I personally utilised a DLP on defend. That's the best way I could probably describe what I saw in the videos, and that is going to be him set to tackle harder and also mark tighter. So a bit of a playmaker sitting deep that won't really move. He'll hold the position, he'll always be a passing option, and also can chip in with the defending. In fact, chips in quite a fair bit with that defending role. The winger on the left is going to be set to attack, and he is going to have 1 instruction consistent of running wide with the ball. Again, by default, he has 5 instructions, so we don't need to overcomplicate things. On the right hand side, we are going to use an inside forward who is going to be set to attack, and he's going to be told to shoot more often, roam, and also stay wider. So providing width to the team is absolutely essential. But when he does have the ball, cut inside with the ball, take more risks, get forwards, shoot more often, have a go at goal yourself. I mean, usually it's Bernardo Silva out there. If you play Serki, he can also do that really well, and I think that could be why he's testing stuff out like this, because Serki can play centrally but also play out on the right, and I think it could tailor to him very, very nicely. On the left hand side, we are going to use an AP on support, and he's going to have 2 instructions, moving into the channels and also roaming from the position. And next to him, an AM on attack, funny enough, who is going to be told to take more risks, dribble more, roam, and move into the channels. And lastly, a nice and simple, complete forward on support, who comes in with no instructions because he has 5 by default. And that is going to give you the player roles and the basic fundamentals of this tactic. But of course, we are going to go over the team instructions, and I'm going to quickly say at this part of the video, if you're interested in getting all of these wonderful perks, it does include over 220 tactics this year, over 90 rebuild files, early access, priority in the requests, one-on-one tactical help, ad-free viewing, all of my rebuild files as well. You can come and check out the Patreon where there is 20% off. There is close to 6,000 people there now, so make sure you are coming over and getting involved, because it is a massive community where we share tactics, Wonder Kids, everything. Make sure you do come on over. Now, team instructions. We are going to go up to fairly wide. We are also going to play out from the back. The tempo is going to be maxed out with the passing down by 1 to shorter, and simply work the ball into the box. Now, I may have talked through that quite quickly, but it's actually quite basic, to be honest. Pep does play with quite a high tempo, especially with recent times. He always favours working the ball into the box. A bit of advice for you, make sure you do get 3 all-tactic variants, because they do offer very, very different things. And if you don't have them, you are technically going in as a bit of a disadvantage compared to what I had. So I do have them here, not just for fun, but genuinely for you to use. In transition, we are going to counter press, and then counter, and play to the entire back line. Again, it's a risk-free option, playing to the entire back line. We've got 4 at the back to start. It only transitions into that 3 when we have the ball. And out of possession, we are going to play the pretty common sense stuff, the much higher defensive line, the high press more often, and also trap outside. And that is going to give you the default version of this wonderful tactic. Now, to go alongside of it, we are going to have an attacking version, which does focus on maybe a little bit less of 100% realism and more go and grab a goal, because I know a lot of you guys love to get the results in the game. Who doesn't? So I'm going to cater for that. So the goalkeeper does remain the same. Both of the ball players also remain the same. The inverted wing backs also remain the same, as does the DLP. What changes is going to be pretty much a couple of things. So the inside forward also remains the same. The winger remains the same. Obviously the AP now goes up to attack, and the advanced forward comes in instead of the complete forward, purely to offer that bit of an extra sort of goal scoring threat going forward. The advanced forward role is significantly better in terms of just goal output in this game, so that's exactly why we have decided to use it. This is where it gets controversial, because I've actually kept on positive. Now, if you are in the last 5-10 minutes, you can go attacking, but I'm going to speak from experience. You will be incredibly defensively vulnerable using this shape. So that is why I'm factoring in people download the tactics, they comment before they actually test, and that is why I've gone with a sensible approach. If you need a goal badly, you would go on to attacking as a little heads up. The attack and width is going to be up to fairly wide. We are still going to work the ball into the box because it is the Pep Guardiola way. That is also something you can remove if you are desperate, and I mean desperate. We are also going to play out from the back with that higher tempo and shorter passing, and lastly, we're going to be more expressive. In transition, it is going to be a top 3 selection: counter press, counter, distribute quickly, and play to that wonderful entire backline. And out of possession, we are going in with the exact same, because it is incredibly attacking anyway, with trap outside, step up more, and a maxed out trigger press to much more often. And that is going to give you, at the current stage of the video, an attacking version to go and grab your goals, a default version, which I will say, this is one of the few tactics where I wouldn't actually advise going into a game with the attacking version. Always go in with this normal version, then switch if you need to do so. But the defensive version, now this does favour a much more methodical, lower tempo approach, more possession, better pass completion, probably less goals, to be honest with you, just to control the game, get the result over the line. Again, I wouldn't say go into a game like this because you're not going to have enough going forwards, but if you're a couple of goals up, maybe even a goal up, you just want to seal the game, get it done, this will get the job done. So the goalkeeper does remain the same, the ball players remain the same, the inverted wing backs both go to defend. On the left, mark tighter, on the right, tackle harder. A DM comes in, a bit more defensive than that DLP, and a lot less risky with the passing. On mark tighter, tackle harder, take fewer risks, so he's going to be quite a risk-free player. The winger on the right is on support. On roam, shoot less, run wide, and also pass it short. And on the right-hand side, we are going to have an inside forward, pretty much on the same instructions, but just to clarify it, pass short, shoot less, roam, and also stay wider. The AP goes back to being on support, on passing it short, roaming and moving into the channels, and the AM remains on attack just to keep that threat going up the pitch a little bit, on take more risks, dribble more, roam and moving into the channels, with the complete forward remaining the same. So you can probably already tell there's a bit of an addition of the pass shorter instruction, and it gets changed again in the mentality. We are going to go down to balanced. We do keep the attack and width, and we keep working the ball into the box, playing out from the back, because these are basic things that I want any version of this tactic to do. But the big change is dropping the passing all the way down to much shorter to really lower that tempo. In transition, we're going to counter press, then hold the shape while playing to the entire backline. And lastly, out of possession, just the higher line on this occasion with the high press and simply trap outside. And that is going to give you today not one, not two, but three versions of Pep's 4-1-4-1 3-1-6 combo. Now, yes, this could be a tactic we see for one game. The analysis was based off one game, but it done pretty well. It looked very unique, and it does suit a lot of their players. So let me know if you think we're going to see this again this year. But I had to make a video because he probably is the most sort of unique manager in terms of playing different shapes, different formations, coming up with crazy combos. And I had about 15 messages. A very, very loyal viewer of mine, called Luke, sent it to me. And he wanted me to make a Patreon tactic for him. I sent it to him, and I thought, do you know what? I'm getting tons of messages here, so let's work up a video as well, so you can all enjoy it. But that is going to be me done for today. Leave a like on the video if you have enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.